Chapter 5. Where are my Oreos? It's now Thursday, 6:35 p.m. on March 8th, 1984. It's been a hectic hour on my way here to Detroit. I didn't want to offend my last cabbie's smelly business. A shower, then some good old milk and cookies would be nice. This key isn't working, Wyatt says. Try the other key I gave you. Her name is Susie, my new landlord, and she also lives in the same apartment. 5807 Toledo Street. The piece of paper with the address and the unit number still clings to my hand, and this could be my last peek. It's unit number 8 on the second floor. I hate getting lost, but it's my lucky number. A week ago, I was offered this new assignment, and it comes with a complimentary package from my agency at Carbon Planet. Now, here I am. It's not the Hilton, but there's free cookies inside the box. You only gave me one. I did? She did. Wyatt digs through his pockets regardless and pulls out his 3 keys around his silver keychain. It's my key for the car, and for my apartment back in Chicago. Damn, I must have given you the wrong one, the 76-year-old woman says. I'll be back in a bit, son. There it is again. Could it be my voice? Almost everyone is my mother, except my fiancé. I'm not going anywhere, he says, with a benevolent smile. Right. She smiles modestly and gently presses her hand on his arm before walking back downstairs. She must have lots of things on her mind. It's an apartment of 10 units, and I'd already met one family on my way inside. It's a couple with 2 kids, a boy and a girl. The girl was holding a leash to a furry teacup dog that reminds me of our own back in Chicago. Persky is my dad's, and he loves that little furball so much. 5 minutes later, and it's getting too quiet. So quiet he could hear a bathtub being filled with water. Then a car rolling by on the street, an 8-bit explosion just down the hall from an analog screen, and 2 kids arguing and then laughing. Too quiet. What's taking her so long? Then a lady appears from the stairs with some groceries. She has dark lipstick, is wearing eyeshadow and a miniskirt. She walks to the second door down the hallway. Then her attention falls on Wyatt, who's just standing in front of a door with his black leather backpack and suitcase. She must have forgotten about the magic password, the lady says. Turn the key clockwise, hon. Wyatt stares at his key. Then say, "Open sesame," she says as she unlocks her unit's door. With a quick look at her figure, Wyatt thinks she must work out her legs. I'll remind her. Thanks, Wyatt replies. My name is Brittany. Wyatt. Hi, Brittany, he says with a short wave. Well, you got the magic password. Wish you luck. With her grocery bag held up under her chin, he hears her say, Got your Oreos, Malcolm. The sound of an Atari game from the lounge in-house ascends with the excitement of 2 kids' conversation as the door opens. Did you get some milk? A boy asks. With an affectionate smile, she pushes her back to the door to open it. Bye, she says to Wyatt. A nod. See ya. The smell of her candy perfume already tells me something familiar. And the backpacker detective turned his back to his door unit. Must be iRobot, level 23. A memory of his flashes by. He's back at the Chicago arcade, the last investigation about a missing kid before his new cold case. The voice reminds me of him. Malcolm must be the same age. Thomas was an 8-year-old runaway. Well, second time's a charm. Here we go, he whispers as he turns the key clockwise and the doorknob to counterclockwise. It works. Just in time, Wyatt goes inside his new apartment as footsteps rush up the stairs. I knew she has a lot on her mind. It's Susie. Detective, I was going to tell you about that door. She pauses and she sees him already inside. Oh, goodness, you solved that one easily, she says. I'm in it for some cookies now, lady. Got it. It's clockwise. I can't believe I forgot about that door, she says. I guess it happens. She makes a comeback down to the stairs. Just go down to the small leasing office downstairs if you need anything. Well, good night, Detective. I'll remember that. Good night, Susie. Detective Wyatt McCoy now retires to his room. He takes his leather briefcase from his back and places it on the floor, sitting on the couch. For several minutes, he tilts his head backwards, facing the ceiling. But before passing out, he stands up, shakes his head, and looks at his wristwatch. It's almost 7 p.m. I have to check the room that the agency has for me. What he asks for is always simple. No dishes, just a glass cup and a fork on the dish rack, a water pitcher, and a carton of milk inside the fridge with a missing person on the back. It wasn't that he might find that person, just a reminder of the work he had to do. And the list goes on. 1 paper towel, 5 toilet papers in the bathroom, and 3 boxes of green soap, the ones that smelt of Ireland in the spring. He's got his own dandruff shampoo, the blue kind, and 1 whole toothpaste tube, also the blue kind. He plans on solving the case before he runs out of paper towels. There was no need to cook either, because he eats only at lunchtime outside. Nights are only for piecing together puzzles while eating his Oreos with a glass of milk. He drinks alcohol only on occasion, but he's a busy man. So it was predominantly water, and that goes for milk as if it was an inebriate habit. Cigarettes, on the other hand, are accessories for his lungs. The rest he bought with a credit card that was given by the agency. Wait, where are my Oreos? They must have forgotten. Well, it wasn't dark yet, and he didn't mind skipping the shower for now. After inhaling the 3 butts from the balcony's ashtray, he left the room on a quest for some Oreos. A knock-knock, and Brittany opens her door. It's me again, Wyatt. You need another magic password, don't you? What's the magic password for getting cookies around here? Keep left until the end of the road, then keep driving, going till Werner. It's not the marketplace where she bought her groceries, but they carry what he's looking for. You won't miss the gas station on your left. 3 lefties? 3. Then she teases him with a smile. Anything else? Thanks. Anytime. Now to the car, which also has the package from Carbon Planet and his test drive of the black 1976 Lotus Esprit Coupe. He inserts the key, turns it, and the engine sounds like she's been kept up with luxury oils. Hey man, I was the one who picked out that car for you. A Hispanic male with a ponytail and a hairnet, wearing a dirty pale blue jumpsuit with a tank top and a rosary around his neck. He looks more like a mechanic than a housekeeper. Yes, I heard. The maintenance guy, right? Wyatt says, squinting up at the guy's name tag as the warm-up continues. Oh, the jumpsuit. Well, the old lady thinks we're all alike. It'll make it easier to recognize her staff. About the car, she's already had plenty of warm-ups before I sent the key to your agency. Runs good. That's good to know. He stares at the name tag again and says, Wen Chen? Oh no, it's Juan Valdez. He gives his hand to Wyatt for a better introduction. Susie can provide a uniform. I know it's a bit shady, but it's better than nothing, right? Got this from the same thrift store the ladies got it from. The boss got some kind of Alzheimer's. Yeah, I just met her, he says. Nice to meet you, Juan. Nice to meet you finally, Detective Wyatt McCoy. I know it ain't new, but I picked the best. I was expecting something much older. You picked the best, all right. Wyatt is amused. I'm glad you like it. Juan looks at the car with a little envy. It was an old guy who sold it to me. He was selling everything fast. What was the rush? I never met her, but I guess you can settle down at 91. Learn something new every day, man. They laugh. You live here too? 24 hours, Juan says. I don't usually come out at days like this, but if you get a call, you get a call. Some sink got clogged this morning. Round the clock, same here. Wyatt's wheels start to roll a bit. Thanks for picking up the car for me, Juan. Take her for a spin, my man. She's all yours. Wyatt heads toward the gas station. The apartment is also at a close distance from where the O'Dwyers live, and it's a humble house with large kitchen windows and the curtains off to the sides. Behind the glass, he could see the mother and daughter giving their prayers for supper. "A little grace for me would help too," Wyatt whispers. Then he reaches the gas station. He parks, enters, and walks straight to the cashier. "Can I help you?" the chubby cashier asks. "It looks like he just finished off his second batch of hot dogs, and 5 days skipping a shave of his scruffy face. He must have a lot on his mind, too. Perhaps it's a lake thing here in Detroit." The new stranger in town waves at the surveillance above the cashier and shows off his badge to him. "Fishermen come here a lot?" Wyatt asks. "Every day, man," followed by a small burp. "Sorry about that. You just walk in here, and I'm not that bad when it comes to faces from around here." The young detective does his best to describe the missing men. "I thought I already gave the evidence to the FBI. "I'm not from the FBI, but something like that." A curious, quick stare, but what's there to lose? He needed someone to chat with anyhow. "Well, there was this kid I went to football with. His name is Junior. He and his dad stopped by the store for sunglasses. It turns out they were also with these 3 other guys." "This was about 8 months ago, right?" "That's right, the missing GM workers." He wipes his hands. Please allow me to introduce myself, officer. The name is Francis, by the way." A handshake with Wyatt. "Detective Wyatt McCoy." "Good to meet you. Wyatt?" he asks, strangely curious about the name. "For a second, I thought my name was Wen Chen." I don't blame him for double-checking. I get this all the time. "You haven't seen that many guys like me with that name before or something?" "Not really, man." He smiles. "My adopted mother was a Wyatt Earp fan. My dad wears the funny mustache." "Oh," he chuckles. "Okay, I think I got something you'd like to see then, Wyatt." They enter the convenience store's office, and Francis turns to Wyatt. "Well, this version is a copy, and I already gave the original to the FBI. What's with those guys, anyways? I haven't heard from them yet. But you're some sort of Magnum PI?" "Wyatt PI, maybe," he smirks. "But just detective is fine. Or Wyatt." "I see. The FBI took a break on the investigation. It's a cold case now. I've been hired by the O'Dwyers to continue the search." "Damn. They never told me anything. Life goes on, I guess." He opens a drawer. "It should be here somewhere." He scrambles a few tapes that all recorded suspicious activity. "Oh, there it is. July 17th, that Sunday morning. If you want to stay, I can play it for you. It's not that long." A bell rang from the main entrance door, and a thanks from the young man catches Wyatt's attention. He stands by the office door. "I think you have customers," Wyatt says. "Nah, this is my friend. Let him wait." Wyatt waves at the customer to wait. It's a middle-aged man, and standing behind him is a teenager. Feeling a little impatient, he asks, "You have all the footage from that day in there?" "Yes, sir," Francis replies, "but separate times." He inserts the videotape into the VCR and hits play. It hasn't even been a minute, but the teenager can't wait anymore. Wyatt and Francis hear the bell ring as the door shuts. Wyatt peeks again. This time the man has his hand on the cashier's table, looking at his watch behind him and back to Wyatt. Wyatt turns his head back to the small screen. Francis then fast-forwards through the tape. Here it is. It's Jesse first. He's buying 2 bags of ice. He even winks at the surveillance camera. Then Francis fast-forwards again to Jacob and Junior. Jacob is having second thoughts on a bucket hat, and Junior is occupied with a little chat with Francis. Then to Marty and Will. It looks like Will is searching for Red Stripe, and Marty is loading up beers pretty quick for the cooler, until the same bell rings from the same door. "And that's the last time the guys came by," Francis ended sympathetically. "At least I know what they were wearing that morning," Wyatt says. "I hope that helps, Detective." Francis walks up to help the man waiting at the register. "Can I help you, sir?" $10 on 8, please," the man says, and forces a quick smile at Wyatt. My lucky number, Wyatt thought while browsing the shelves. Have a good night, sir. Thanks for waiting, Francis says. The man turns back to Francis. I had no choice, but thanks. The man continues walking to put fuel in his car. Wyatt already picked what he wanted from the shelf. Just these. It's a box of Oreos, but Francis gives them to Wyatt free of charge. You need the tape? Nah, I'm good for now. I don't have VCRs anyways. But there should be a thrift store around here. Well, thanks for the cookies. I hope you find them. Wyatt passes by the house of the missing father and son again. This time, seated in the family lounge, Karen is by the window with Lenny. It's already evening, and Lenny must have sensed some liaison about Wyatt's presence in town. As Karen shushes him to stop from barking, her eyes go to the black coupe's bright headlights from further away until she sees who it is. It's just a guy, Lenny. Shh, Karen says, shushing him again. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Wyatt whispers with a breeze of the benevolent smile. And Karen swiftly responds with a smile of her own. The detective then presses the gas and roars to 35. As he speeds away, he remembers how her eyes are fixed on that same obscure place of pondering. Look no further, little girl.